What's up guys, welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be reviewing the Chihiros Z-Lite Tiny, and boy is it a tiny little light. That makes for a pretty boring review because it's a little light, it turns on, it turns off. So boom, there's your review, thanks for watching. To make things more interesting, we're going to pair it with something else as tiny. This little half-gallon cube back here, it needs a rescape. I'm not happy with it, and I think part of it is due to low light. So we're going to put this little guy on there and see if it helps on the new Aquascape. So sit back and get ready to watch a tiny Aquascape and review of a tiny light. Now before we get into the tiny light, let's look at the tiny aquarium. This is a half-gallon cube, and I think it is by Mr. Aqua, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, just a tiny little half-gallon cube, and it has a little Hygger clip-on light. This light's not bad, but it's just a kind of a white light. It has two blue LEDs, one red LED, and I don't know what the color temperature is on it. Probably close to 56 to 6,000 Kelvin, and it has a tiny filter on it. But we're going to take the filter off, we're going to take the light off, we're going to take everything out of here, and we're going to go no filter on this aquarium for the new rescape. All it has in it right now is just a couple of cull shrimp. That means shrimp that are not perfect in color, but still cute. So they go in here and they can breed with each other and make different kinds of really shrimps or whatever, I don't know, whatever patterns come out. So I want to keep this as kind of a culling tank. We got red ones in there, we got blue ones in there. Camera's not going to focus. For the rescape here, I wanted a light that was a little bit, I guess, more dynamic. And that's where the Chihiros light comes in. So it says here that it's 6 watts and going to be between 2800 and 8000 Kelvin. I think it's adjustable somehow. 400 lumens. So what I'm going to do is tear this aquarium down now. I'm going to get all this duckweed out. I'm going to take all of the rocks and the shrimp and snails and everything out of here. I'm going to try and save the substrate. We're not going to be saving the Monte Carlo that is in this aquarium. It is full of algae and I don't want to transfer that to the new one. But maybe the substrate here, this aqua soil, can be saved a little bit. The reason I want to save the aqua soil is I kind of want to make this tank ready for shrimp immediately. Using RO water, it would just be like a water change if I use the same substrate here. So that's what I'm going to try and do. It's also going to be beneficial for the plants that I want to put in here. Okay, I'm going to save you guys the footage of me tearing the aquarium down. I'm pretty sure you know how to take everything out of an aquarium and make it clean again. So I'm going to do that, get my soil ready, get the shrimp in a little container. We'll get all set up to make the new Aquascape, and we'll do something quick and simple. All right, guys, I've got everything set up here. So hopefully this works out for you for presentation. I got my little spinny thing, what do they call this? Lazy Susan. We've got our aquarium, of course, is nice and clean. We have clean aqua soil. That's right. I took the aqua soil from the aquarium, took the top layer off to make sure there was no algae and stuff. At least I think there's none. And then rinsed it in RO water. I know, kind of crazy, but I did rinse it all in RO water to try and preserve any bacteria that's in there, but get the muck and the soot and stuff out of the soil. So we're going to try and reuse that. In this cup here, we have a little bit of crushed lava rock. You can get this stuff on Amazon, as I did, or your local garden store sometimes has it. I got the very small version on Amazon. It's actually fire rock. You probably won't be able to see this on camera, but the company is called Only Fire, and you can look it up on Amazon. I'm not even going to put an affiliate link for you. Go get you some if you want. I'll explain why we're using this in a minute. Little piece of wood here that I'm going to use for the Aquascape, and then the plants are coming here in a moment. So, pretty simple stuff to get going. We're going to take this crushed lava and I'm going to put it in the bottom. The reason that I want to have some lava rock in the bottom is simply for the beneficial bacteria. In fact, I need a little bit more, so let me pause and rinse a little more of this stuff. All right, I rinsed a little more here and I want just enough to kind of cover the bottom of the aquarium. Now remember, we're going filterless, so this is our filter. Lava rock's very porous. I'm sure you guys are aware, just like using any type of media for your filters, you use a porous media for all of your beneficial bacteria. So that should colonize in a couple of weeks. Now, let's see if the wood will fit before we get some aqua soil in there. Let me spin this around so I can see it real quick. I'm leaving the black background on, by the way, since that's the view you have. Reason is that it's gonna look nice anywhere I decide to put it. All right. This isn't quite working for me because I've got this piece little stick sticking out here. See if we can break that off. See if I got my big boy pants on today. I don't. That's pretty strong. Let me get that cut. We'll be back in a second. What I've done is cut this flat on, we got kind of two sides that are flat, so we've got some different ways to kind of work with this. I'm thinking that that's going to be it right there. What do you think? I'm not going to go with any other rocks or anything in the front because we're going to do kind of a little green carpet. That's the plan. And I'm thinking that's it right there. That should work fine. We'll double check it this way just to see. See? All right, let me spin it around. I got to take a look here. Okay, so if I put it this way, there's not too much room in the front. Maybe I can tilt this so you can see. There's not as much room in the front for planting, and also it's going to be hard to maintain because this one stick right here is poking up to the front. Now if I flip it over, now what you'll see is it's tucked more to the back in the corner, and I have much more room over here in the front for that luscious carpet and maybe where we see the shrimp. So I think I'm going to go this route, which means we are ready for some aqua soil. Set that off to the side, throw a little bit of aqua soil in there. You know what? I just thought this is probably going to float. I have this scrap piece of spiderwood here. It's never been in water. It's probably going to float. So I'm going to glue it to a rock and then shove it down in there just to make sure this thing doesn't float. Sticking up just a little bit on the top, which is fine. It's going to look okay. You know, we like it hanging out of the rimless aquarium. That's kind of the style. What I'm going to do now is just kind of push this aqua soil around, fill it up a little bit. Even if we hide the rock, that's okay. I want to get this sloped front to back a little bit here. Might even be able to use a little more aqua soil. Went and grabbed the handy dandy brush here to kind of get this brushed where I think I want it. I found paint brushes are kind of invaluable here for aquascaping. Really makes a difference to be able to get your aqua soil where you want. Let's get to the fun part, and that is planting. Now most of the plants are coming from the 40-gallon grow out tank here. Looking a little cloudy right now. We have a bacterial bloom going on. Don't worry about that. I'm going to pull this Hygger tenellum green out of here. This is a short carpeting kind of grass plant. I think it's going to look great to cover most of the aquarium. I'm going to yank out this piece of Anubias Nana Petite. It might even be Nana Coin. I'm not quite sure, but it's a small one. We're going to put that on the wood. There's a little tiny piece of Bucephalandra over there that's going to get swallowed up in this stem plant aquascape. So we're going to go ahead and pull that out of there. And I'm going to grab another piece of Bucephalandra from here. This is the Guppy grow out tank, and I'm going to just snag a piece from there. And I should really fill in this aquascape here. But now that I think about it, I'm going to grab a couple pieces of this Rotala Walichi and stick it next to the wood there, maybe behind the wood. Whatever, I'm going to grab a couple pieces of this and do some impromptu planting just because I want to see if the Chihiros light will grow nice red Walichi. Alright, we got our plants all picked out here and ready for planting. Got a couple pieces of Bus over here on your left. We have the Walichi. Man, these little sprigs of Walichi just don't look very good at all. You can barely see those. Let me try and zoom in on it. Just not looking good at all, but we'll give them a second chance here with maybe this high-powered Chihiros tiny light. Got some Anubias. I'm really thinking this is like mini coin or something. Very, very small Anubias. And then we have our Hygger tenellum green carpet here. We're going to start with the Anubiases, multiple Anubiases. We're going to try and get them kind of glued in here. I'm going to have to spin this around so I can see what's going on. You don't want to be bored with that, so I'm going to pause the camera, get these glued on, show you where they're at. Okay, up next is going to be a couple pieces of Bus. I know I want one kind of sticking out right here. There's a little pocket right there I want to put it, so I'm going to get that glued in real quick. Alright, it's in right there. And then the other piece of Bus I'm going to want kind of right here on the side, just like that there. So if we kind of zoom in a little bit, you might be able to see. Got the roots just draping kind of right over here. Maybe stick that root down in there, make it look more natural. Once that dries, these Buses will stand up a little bit once they see the light, figure out where they're supposed to be. Get a little water on these guys. That's going to help set the super glue as well. Keep them moist. Now you can't see anything because of the mist here. Alright, I'm seeing this to be a maintenance nightmare already, but hopefully it just takes care of itself. Being no filter, like my 3-gallon fish bowl, it should just kind of sit there and do its thing. Okay, up next, while it's not much to look at, I'm going to take these little tiny pieces of Rotala Walichi and we're going to stick them right down here in the corner in the back just to see if they will grow. I'm going to frame a couple right down here on the other side too, just so that each side of the wood's kind of framed by some Walichi. They will need trimming. It's about the only thing in this aquarium I think I'm going to have to trim. And finally, the Hylanthium Tenellum Green. I bet you can guess where this is going to go, right up front. This one's got a runner already. Now, it might be slightly oversized for this aquarium. I'm not quite sure yet, but just want this to kind of carpet all over the place, create a nice lush, I don't know, grassy floor. I don't want to go with like hair grass. It goes too tall for this little half gallon. The Hylanthium Tenellum Green stays pretty low in comparison to other carpeting plants. Alright guys, there you go. We are all planted and I think it looks pretty good. Let me get you zoomed in here just a little bit. Should be able to kind of see what's going on there. Now for the reason you clicked on this video, let's check out the Chihiros Z Light Tiny. Let's move over to the table. Okay, got a little bit better lighting over here on the studio table setup here. Look at how tiny this thing is. Now I know they call it the Chihiros Z Series Tiny, but my goodness, look at this little guy here. Absolutely, well, tiny. Little itty bitty screw right here. Look at, I mean, this is the size of my thumb, and you can tell the screw compared to my thumb. I don't have overly large hands or anything. What a tiny little light. But that's why I bought it, because we have a tiny little aquarium, tiny little light. There's, as you see, no kind of, buttons, manual buttons or anything. I believe you can use the Chihiros app to control this. We'll have to see here in a minute, but let's get it plugged in. I know you can adjust, let me see if I can figure this out. Yeah, see, if you slide this in and out, you can adjust the beam pattern. Let's get it on the tank. It'll look better there. Now, this is USB only. You know what, guys? My computer is right here, and I turned it off for this video, but normally I have my computer on just sleep mode, which enables power all the time. I'm wondering if this light can be powered off of my computer. Let's do a quick test. Plug it in right here. My goodness, it works. So now I'm not going to leave it plugged in right there, but let's see if I put my computer into sleep mode here. Boy, they're really pushing this Windows 11. Every time you boot your computer up, it's like, upgrade to Windows 11. No, I don't want to. All right, let's put the computer to sleep here like I normally do. Computer's asleep. Light is still on. Ha! Look at that. Going to be able to just plug it in. Now, Chihiros does not give you like a wall plug for this. If you have an old phone outlet or something like that, you could obviously use that. But for this scenario, I'm going to plug it into the back of my computer. My goodness, guys, how cool is that? It's just plugged into my computer in sleep mode. That's awesome for like a little desk light. All right, I got my light all set up at kind of maximum height here and angled right on down so that the entire aquarium is getting light coverage. You can kind of see the circle outline there. Now, you could adjust this to a beam if you wanted. See how you can lower that down and kind of do spotlight style, but obviously I want to light the whole aquarium, so I'm going to leave it kind of open in its full beam pattern, and that should give us enough light. Now there's instructions here, and to adjust the light you're going to need the app, and so you got to scan this here with your phone. We're going to go ahead and do that. All right, I guess download the My Chihiros app. Takes you to your app store. 2.0 on the ratings. Doesn't look like people like this very much. Alright, Chihiros would like to use a Bluetooth. Okay, we'll allow it to use a Bluetooth. Send notifications. No, I don't want notifications. Geez, you gotta sign up. No wonder people don't like this. I hate signing up for stuff. Alright, give me a moment here while I sign up for Chihiros. Okay, I've signed up for Chihiros here. Now I have to add a tank, I guess. What's the name of the tank? We'll call it the 0.5 gallon. Next, what's the idea behind this tank? I don't care. Skip. I don't need to tag my plants. Skip. Getting crazy. What materials have you used? Using substrate. It's probably not I've used. Which is LANDEN, by the way. Just go back. Skip. Come on, man. I just want to get the light working. Now I see why it's got 2 stars on this app. I don't care about the setup date. I don't care about the size or the fish. Or stop. Complete. Device. Probably that's what I needed to do. Device. Searching it. Find it. Is that what this is? Looks like it. Tiny light. Okay, confirm. We got the tiny light, new. Now what do I do? Okay, the tank, got it. All right, there we go. We want to do white. Bring this up. Okay. Well, I do like that. What if I bring the warm up as well? All right, I guess that's just full spectrum there. Can go white, hot button, cool white, warm. Hopefully that's coming in on camera. Overclock. That's what I want to do. That's what I do with my computer. Yeah, let's overclock it. All right, overclocking is just everything at 100%, I guess. Sunrise and sunset time. Let's see. Surround, sunrise. My lights, I have them at 11. So sunrise at 11 and turning off, 11. Do a 12-hour cycle. Okay. Ramp time. Let's do half an hour ramp for sunrise. Hit the back button. That's what we do. On auto. All right. Well, I'm going to fool around with that. I think I have it set on auto and it'll just do its thing. But it is after 11 o'clock, to be honest with you. So at the time of recording this video, I can't do it in auto. Let's go back to manual, get this thing on. I like it on white light there. It doesn't tell you what Kelvin it is. Well, yeah, it does. It says CT 500. Okay. Overclocking will increase the temperature. It does kind of have some stuff there for you. But let's just go to white. Keep it at 65 Kelvin. Now, I've got to get water in this aquarium before everything dies. So let's go ahead and get some water in this little Chihiros lit half-gallon aquarium. All right, we got the RO water filling up the aquarium here, trying to do it slowly and keep the sediment down since this is going to be no filter. I don't want to do too many water changes. We'll get it filled up and I'll be back with some thoughts at this point on the light and the aquarium. Okay guys, we're all filled up here. Aquarium I think is looking great. Let me see if we can get a little better zoom for you. The light is, it adds a really kind of nice spotlight effect, as you can see. Kind of brighter in the middle, a little dimmer on the side. Really looks good to the eye. The camera doesn't pick it up very well, but here's kind of another shot. The halo around the outside of the aquarium disappeared with the water. Kind of glad for that. So all the light is now contained within the aquarium. I am not, or have not changed the, the little adjustment there. So I haven't changed the beam pattern. That's what I'm trying to say. Beam pattern is the same, but now it's all contained within the aquarium. You can kind of see in the very corners here, little dark spot. But man, it barely fits. When they say tiny light, they mean tiny light for tiny aquarium. It barely lights this aquarium up. All right, let's get some shrimp in there. Get ready for your shrimp release. Okay guys, 8 shrimp going in. All of the water temps are the same in my entire home here. So don't worry about water temps. In they go. Come on guys, everybody out. Even put your little piece of food in there. Last one. Get out of there, girl. All right, guys, there we go. Looks like I need a couple more blue shrimp in there just to kind of mix some things up there. Add a little bit of a Skittle color in there. Now, I think it's looking pretty good so far. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, filterless half-gallon cube is set up. Look at how small that little thing looks. Really puts it into perspective on this camera angle, how small that aquarium is. And that's what the Chihiros tiny light is for. Now, let's do a midpoint review of the light. First off, price. Well, for the size of the light, it's pretty expensive. It's about $80 on Amazon. I will put a link in the description for you guys. Is it worth it? I don't know. You're probably paying for the name. The size of the light is much smaller than I thought. Now, I get it. It's called tiny light, and I probably should have known. And I did look at the dimensions, and it said 5 inches and blah, blah, blah. But when you get it in person, it's pretty tiny. So if you think you're going to power like a fishbowl or something, probably not. It barely lights up this little half-gallon cube. So keep in mind, it is a tiny light, but it would be awesome for like just a little spotlight maybe in a larger aquarium if you just want to accent something. I know you guys are real good with doing the subtle lighting for your aquascapes. If that's your thing, it might work out good for you. Brightness, it's not as bright as I had expected for a Chihiros light. I'll be quite frank with you. I thought it was going to be a little bit brighter, but if it grows plants, well, that's all it really needs to do. Now, the app. I agree with the 2-star rating on the App Store. The app sucks. The app sucks. It makes you, it wants you to do all this crazy stuff to get the app even started. I just want to turn the light on, for Christ's sake, and adjust the temperature. Chihiro's apps, I guess they just really want you to like get all of your info in there for the aquarium so you can have maximum control. I get it. It's a professional app, but for the average user that's going to be using your product, you're asking too much from the app, in my opinion. So the app sucks. Hate it. Look, I wish it wasn't 100% app controlled. I wish I could just plug it in and it would go to full power and be very simple. The app control is great, I guess, but for this tiny of a light, I don't think we're really worried about exact Kelvin ratings and things on a teeny tiny light. But I could be wrong. If that's your deal and you love the app, so be it. But 2-star rating with many reviews, that kind of tells you what the people think. All right, guys, it is the next evening, and update on the light. It's going back to Amazon as a return. Why? Because it's off. I'm not going to mess around with this light here. That's why I don't like these app-based lights. Here's the application for the light. You can see the bar here, the vertical bar. That time is the current of, well, almost 8 o'clock. Focus. There we go. Almost 8 o'clock. You see the real tall bar right here? Yeah, that's supposed to be light on. Well, when I walked in, it was fading out and turned off. Then it blinked back on. Then it started fading out and turned off again, and that's when I grabbed the camera here. But per the app, this thing is supposed to be lit up. All right, I just went to manual mode. That turned the light back on. Now we'll go back to the custom mode here, and you saw it kind of flickered. Let's see if it fades out again. And there you go. See? That's what I'm talking about. The thing's just turning on and off. What is that? Alright guys, I figured some things out about the Chihiros light. The flickering issue is due to the USB going into the PC. The PC, I guess, fluctuates the power level to that USB. Kind of an on-demand thing is what I'm guessing. You experts could maybe confirm in the comments, but that's triggering the light to kind of turn on and off, and I guess resetting its cycle, which is why sometimes it's off when it's supposed to be on, and other times it's on when it's supposed to be off. I have now plugged it underneath. I have since plugged it into an outlet underneath the desk here, and the timer function is more consistent. However, I'm still not happy with this light. The brightness, I just don't think it's where it should be for a high-end light. Not for, I believe it was 60 bucks that I paid for it. It's just not that bright. Let me try and show you. All right, so I put my camera in manual mode here, and this is about the lighting that I have in the room. Now, you will see that we've already discussed the kind of throw of the light, or the light spread is not very good, but it's not good enough to the point of, I mean, this is a half-gallon aquarium, guys. I understand it's a mini light, but the gooseneck here is too short. So we don't have enough height here to really get a good dispersion of the light, at least not for this aquarium. So if you look really close, you can kind of see I've got dark areas back in the corners here. So my corner stem plants are not really getting any light. Now, is the light growing plants? Yeah, I think it is. It could just be the nutrients, but we have another runner shooting off of our Halanthemum tenellum green here. But for my use case, it's just really not working out. Now look, as a small business owner myself, you know, I try not to return items unless they're faulty from the manufacturer. I can't really say if this is faulty or not, but it's not performing the job to the kind of elaboration that you put on your website. Now, for that price point, I think really you should get the little wall adapter. I mean, how many people have a USB plug just chilling around wherever they have their aquarium? Not too many. So with no wall adapter, that kind of makes it difficult. I have spares. That's how I got it plugged in underneath the desk. But the cord's pretty short, and the light dispersion just really isn't there. So you can hate in the comments if you want, but I think for the money, I'm going to return it to Amazon and look for something better, maybe a light that gets higher up. In the meantime, let's compare it to the Hygger light as far as brightness. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is take the Chihiros light off. I'm going to put the Hygger light back on. It's going to give me a better spread, and we'll go from there. Alright, we got the Hygger light installed back on the aquarium. As you can see, the light throw is just much better. I mean, I'm lighting up this whole box over here. You can see my hand compared to in other shots. Look at the wall behind it. And if we look down in the aquarium, which is the most important part, all areas of the aquarium are getting light. So the light throw is a little bit better. Now the wattage on the Chihiros is supposed to be double what the Hygger one is here, but for now the Hygger one seems to work better for my use application. I still don't like this really chunky clamp that they have there. I don't know why in the world you would have put that on there. But, you know, that was a design choice by Hygger, and maybe there's a revision that'll come out later, not sure. Now, I do still want to look for another light that's maybe a little more wattage. I do want a brighter light on this little aquarium because I want to make sure that all of our plants grow in really nice. But for now, the little Hygger light's going to keep them alive, and, you know, it does grow plants just slower than I would like. So I hate to do it, little Chihiros light, but back in your box you go. Now, if you guys are looking at this scene and telling yourself that it's much brighter now, and I've done some camera trick, I've got studio lights on, so that's why it looks like it's a little bit brighter in here. So there you go. There's your review of the Chihiros Z-Lite Tiny. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my decision. You can flame me if you want to. It doesn't bother me. Let me know what you think. Would you have done the same thing? Tried the light out and then returned it? Or would you have just kept it and found another use case for it? Some people like to use it as a mini spotlight to enhance just one plant in their tank or something like that. But for my use case, I think my money's better spent somewhere else, especially in this economy. So get down in the comments. Let me know what your true, honest thoughts are about it. And I hope you enjoyed the review and more so the little tank build. If you want to see what light I do replace both of them with, go ahead and hit that fancy little button underneath there so you can stay updated with the information on the channel. And if you want to see this Aquascape grow in, clicking that button will help you find that video as well. I'll catch you guys on the update over here, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.